Hey everyone, it's me, Alina, and today I'll be answering the questions from this week's exercise. So let's get started. All right, number one. What is one insight from this week's content on approaching your career that you strongly agree with? Well, I strongly agree with Mark Andreessen's career planning guide, and in it he talks about how working for a startup or a small business will increase your chances of getting opportunities versus like working for a big corporation. I especially agree with this because I've seen this play out in my life and my personal work experiences. And I've worked for a lot of small businesses like family-owned restaurants or small franchises, which has helped me tremendously because the bosses that I work for are more approachable versus like a big corporate or big business like Brooks Brothers, which I used to work for them as well. And it was much harder to suggest changes in like your work routine or suggest improvements in a bigger corporate environment, such as Brooks Brothers, because they tend to want to play on the safe side versus like a startup, where a startup's goal is to disrupt the business world. So I highly recommend working for a smaller business or a franchise, depending on the franchise. So if it's like McDonald's, probably not as much. But if you're working for a smaller franchise, definitely go for it, even if the pay is a little bit lower. But if you can figure out ways to improve on the business, like in any way, like training especially, sales, marketing, stuff like that, just jump on that opportunity because you never know when it might be gone. So especially when you're just starting out in your career, where you're still building up skills and work experience, go for that. Go for the smaller businesses. They're more approachable. You can talk to your bosses and suggest improvements on their business because they love it. They love to hear this stuff because they're struggling too. They're still trying to figure out, what the heck am I doing? I need as much help as I can get. So they'll be more than happy to hear your suggestions. All right, number two. What is one insight from this week's content that you disagree with or feel doesn't apply to you? Well, in the Wait But Why essay, I feel the part where it says about the getting to know yourself roller coaster in the denial person section doesn't really apply to me anymore, at least not as much as it used to. So I used to struggle with wanting to become an artist and do that for a living, but deep down I was kind of in denial about doing that. So I guess it's like my subconscious that was telling me, don't go through that career path because you're not going to end up as a happy, healthy person. And for about like 2 to 3 years after I graduated high school, that was like my whole line of thought when it came to career planning, was that I was going to become an artist of some sort, like a fashion designer or an art teacher or something like that. And well, thankfully, my practical side won out and said, you know what, this isn't the life you're going to go through because you want more pay and you know that. So don't even try to like deny that anymore. So I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to listen to my gut and face my new reality. So that took a while, but I'm pretty comfortable with myself right now in that regard. So I've definitely moved on from that. Number three, what's one item on your top shelf of the priority shelf? One item on my top shelf is figuring out what I want to do for a living. So I haven't really quite figured out exactly what I want to do, but I know it'll maybe be something in operations, because that's sort of a jack of all trades type of career. And I'm kind of like a jack of all trades as well. And I think I'm pretty good at organization as well. And I think that'll appeal to me more. I've also considered doing sales because I like money and I want to make lots of it. So that's definitely on my top shelf, just trying to figure out what I want to do. And later on, I'll figure out what my true passions are. Number four, the last question. What's one item on the bottom shelf of your priority shelf? So on my bottom shelf, I have what I want in life, which is to travel around the world and have a remote job at the same time. So I really do want that because I love traveling and I love meeting new people and trying new foods and just visiting new places. But I know that's not going to be for quite a while until I become a little bit more established into my career. So I can definitely hold that off, even though it's something I really want, but my practical side is saying, just be patient for now. You'll eventually get it. And yeah, and one of the other things that really stood out to me in that essay, in the Wait But Why essay, was that you can't figure out what you want to do for a career when you're just starting out, because it takes time. There's no way you can rush this process. So that's why it's kind of it's impractical to listen to other people who say, oh, follow your passions, unless you're really dead set on something, then go for it, like going to medical school or something like that. But if you don't know what you want to do, like if you're in my position, don't try to rush it. I would say just gather as many skills and just learn as much as you can. So that wraps up my video, and I hope you enjoyed it.